Okay, well, as you can see, we are here at the shop today and we are filming a much anticipated video. Andrew is in the back packing some packages, and I decided that we were going to go through our shipping process today with all of you because I know a lot of you have been asking. So let's do this. Before we head into the back shipping area, I wanted to show you guys our boxes. We have lots of boxes in lots of different sizes. I think the larger ones are down at the end, and then the smaller ones are up at the front. We order our boxes in bulk from packagingprice.com, I believe is what it is. And they come in with an 18-wheeler and drop-off boxes. So if we order over $500 worth of boxes, it's free shipping, and we try to space out our orders so that we're ordering when we really need them, and we can order more than $500 worth of boxes. So we use all new boxes, and there's your peek. And here we have our bubble wrap stockpile. We do order our bubble wrap from American Bubble Boy, like a lot of other resellers. I think we've been ordering from them for about a year, and I actually had a conversation with them yesterday about getting a link down in the description of our videos so that you guys can order from them as well. It is an affiliate link, so we do get a small commission off of what you guys order, but this is a product that we use and we're really happy with, so
yeah.
Figured.
It's fast delivery too, like super fast delivery. They say 1 to 2 business days, but I've had it like next day.
There is a link in the description if you want to check it out, but let's go pack some packages.
Yeah, I've got everything set out. I've got 7 items due out.
Those are going out today, right?
Yep, so are those. Those are UPS, that's post office.
So we've got quite a few going out, and then
these are going to be going out today as well.
Cool.
So that's what we're going to pack.
You've got all your boxes built?
All the boxes are built, ready to go for what I need. And yeah.
All right, let's see how you do this.
Okay.
Mr. Packing Man.
All right, so I've got my list built on the computer. So I know which items are going USPS versus UPS, because when it comes to the USPS stuff, we do order some of their free packing material that they offer. So we use, yeah, those cube boxes are great. They're a 12 by 12 by 8 roughly, and I ship a lot of dishes and bowls and plates in those. They're really good, and if you order from USPS.com, they're free. So I order those for priority mail, and I use those just for USPS. So not knowing what's going what today, I just built brown boxes, but it looks like it's all priority mail, which is great. So we're gonna pack a couple items. I mean, it's really not that hard. So I mean, I'll use my bubble wrap on an item. Now this item sold for over $100. I want to make sure this thing is extra well packed and wrapped. Like to fold the ends there. That gives the ends a little extra protection. And then also what I'll do is I'll take a couple sheets of paper.
And we use paper, we do not use packing peanuts, because I know personally I hate getting packing peanuts in the mail, so.
Yeah, I mean, packing peanuts make a huge mess. They're foam, they're not really recyclable, they're not really, I mean, you can reuse them, but I mean, who wants to store big bags of packing peanuts and move big bags of It just takes up too much space.
As opposed to
this paper.
And how much is the paper per sheet? Because I know you have it all worked out.
The paper per sheet, I think.
Well, now it went up in price, so now you have to do the math.
Yeah, well, I pay $25 for a box of roughly 500 sheets. So what's that work out to? About 4 cents a sheet?
You're asking me to do math?
Yeah, something like that. So each sheet weighs 1 ounce. I know what they weigh, so I know how many sheets go in a box are going to add what weight to the box. The bubble wrap adds a lot less weight, obviously. But we want to make sure that we've got plenty of padding in the box. But it gets fluffed when it's going in. So it's kind of like a little pillow in the box. And then we'll place our item in the box. and then it's like nested in there. And then I'll take paper and go around it
on every side
to protect the edges, to keep it in place in the center. I'm trying to keep the item in the center of the box, and even if they puncture the box, there should be enough room where your item's not getting hit. You don't want to pack it too snug. Then we do the same thing on top. Flip that over. And when you close the box, once it's closed up, you want it to have a little bit of a push. You don't want it to be too tight. So a little bit of push is okay. But if the box is caving in, you want to just maybe add a little bit more paper to the box. But this one,
shake test.
There's nothing bouncing around in the box. Weigh it. 2 pounds 5 ounces, and I will put a name on it.
So when you print the labels, you match them up.
Correct. So that item is packed, set off to the side, and it is ready for a label. The next grouping of items is these little plates here. We'll do these. What I'll do is I'll take the smaller bubble. I will place a sheet of smaller bubble in between each one, and I generally do not have any problems as far as shifting, because I'll show you there's a couple other things I do to this. That just puts a nice layer in between them, and then I've got them layered like that. And then I'll take my larger bubble, I'll take like 4 sheets of that. We're going to wrap this direction, and then all that bubble that's hanging out of the side is actually kind of protecting the edges of the plates as well. So we're going to go this way, and then I'm going to take another 3 sheets, and I'm going to flip it the opposite way, so now this open end gets sealed up. And what that'll do is that'll actually keep everything nice and snug together, so there won't be any shifting. And then I'll take a couple sheets of paper, because the paper actually kind of holds everything together a little bit too. It just folds that little extra bit over. Sheets from the bottom. My bundle. Put some paper on this side. Now, while I know there's plenty of bubble wrap on this side, there's not a lot of room to shove any paper in there. So what I'll do is I'll grab some old cardboard that we do have laying around. Grab my box cutter. And I'll take some pieces of cardboard just to give it a little bit of extra cushion on the side there. Again, if somebody smacks the side of the box, now the box is twice as thick as it was before. So that adds a little extra protection to the item. And then, once we've got them packed, 2, 3, 4. I like to take the paper and push it down around the sides. So this way the paper that's on top is actually also helping hold everything in place. And there's a little bit of push, but not a lot. So that's good. And then nice and tight with your seal. And then I'll go all the way around the box, just to make sure that tape holds. 5 pounds 9 ounces. And this one gets a name. And that one's ready to go.
All right, I've got my tripod all set up.
Tripod?
Well, it's a box and it's working.
It's a box.
Little art pottery.
Yep, little pottery vase. So we're gonna wrap that in some thicker bubble because it's a little thicker. Now I don't necessarily have to tape these two ends, because when you use the paper like this and you get a little bundle going, once you fold that paper over, it's gonna fold that bubble wrap too. So you don't have to mess with trying to tape up each end of the bubble wrap. It actually will save you a little bit of time. And then you can tape the bundle, and then the bundle's ready to go. This one's 2 pounds 7 ounces. And we'll give it a name. And on to the next. Let's see. This guy here. That's tied on there.
Yeah, I know.
That kind of scares me a little bit that it's tied on there. I can't separate those two items. So what I'll do is I'll take this piece here and I'll go in between with that small piece of bubble wrap.
You're gonna need more bubble.
It's right there.
Right where my camera is.
Well, I'll just take it off the thing and move it over. And once you start moving and flowing and getting your packages going, you get this knocked out pretty quick. I can get about 10 to 15 packages an hour done, depending on the items, if they're tedious, if they're combined packages. And this one's going to... I'm going to give this guy 4 sheets of better, bigger bubble, because he's a heavier item.
And he's got them horns.
Yep. So we're going to make him nice and snug in that big thick bubble. What box was I going to use for him? Actually, I was going to use a different box, but I'm going to use this one.
What size is that?
This is a 12-12-6. I'm going to add a bunch of extra paper to this one because he's so good too. Plus he's heavier. not going nowhere. Nowhere. Wait. 4 pounds, 6 ounces. And that one's going there. We'll do this one. Something like this. What I like to do with these is just to give it a little bit of extra vibration protection or support. When you have an open item like this, I like to stuff some paper inside of it before I hit it with bubble wrap, because if the package bounces around, it keeps the glass from vibrating and shaking and possible breakage. So I feel like this adds a little bit more stability to the item when it's getting packed. I'll use tissue paper on smaller items that are a little more thin and a little bit more delicate. It's a nice little bundle. Pounds, 2 ounces. Trying to estimate this stuff when you're listing it is not an exact science.
You mean I was wrong on that one?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not an exact science. I mean, really the only way to get it exact is to pack it and then figure out what the weight is of the package and the size of the package. But the problem you run into by doing that is you have people that'll combine orders. Mm-hmm. So then it doesn't always jive. So maybe packing your items ahead of time isn't always the best idea unless you decide to not combine shipping. Really, that's the only way to get away with that one.
We offer combined shipping and we have a lot of combined orders, so packing things ahead of time is just not feasible.
Exactly. And this last item here. So with something like this has got a lid on it. It's got a handle on top. Sometimes, not all the time, you can get away with doing this. I take the bubble, I stick it there, and I flip the lid upside down, so the handle, the finial on there, isn't sticking straight up anymore. This is a big heavy item, so we're going to use a little bit more bubble on this. Yeah, 12 cube is what I'm going to use on this. So once that top piece goes over, you're trying to keep that lid snug. Bubble wrap doesn't like to stick. Now on something like this, there's no real good way to wrap this in paper because it's big. So this one won't get wrapped in paper. But we'll make sure that the bubble stays nice and snug on that item, keep that lid from bouncing around. And we'll take our box. Now, because this jar does have handles on it and it's round, I can pack this a little differently. This is going to pack on a caddy corner so that the handles actually have more room in the corners so nobody can smack the handles on this item and break the handles off. Now, priority mail comes with $100 insurance. However, any items that sell for $50 and over, I add the ship cover insurance to, just because their insurance claim process is a lot simpler.
It's a lot less hassle.
It's a lot less hassle.
More likely to be approved.
Yes, it's a matter of sending some pictures. The post office, sometimes they require you or your customer to bring the item to the post office, which is not always easy or doable. So we use the ship cover insurance.
We insure everything.
Anything 50 and over gets insured with the ship cover. I like these tape guns because I can grab and hold pressure to the tape roll. It's a lot easier than those big standard industrial size packing guns, packing tape guns. But those are what I like. £6, 15 ounces. And that is going to... See, and this is where it's hard because this was estimated a whole pound less than what it actually weighs.
My fault.
So, but again, it's not an exact science. It's going to be off here and there.
Especially when you put that much paper in there.
Yes. I don't even know why we're shipping this one because this one's just going to Dillsburg.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe you could go drop it off on your way for the auction pickup.
Let's see. Alright, so now I've got all my items are packed. And the next process is entering the weights and box sizes on the bulk shipping tool. So we're going to do that.
We're not going to show it though because it'll give away everyone's addresses and names. So.
Yeah, we don't need to. We don't share our customers' information ever for any reason with anybody. It's not anybody's business who's buying what.
All right, well, Andrew is putting in the weights, the exact weights, because my estimates were off. I was going to show you guys this Rollo printer that we use. We absolutely love our Rollo printer. And we get the labels off of Amazon, I believe, right?
Yes, I order them 1,000 at a clip.
And it is a thermal printer, which means we don't have to buy ink for it. When we were first doing this, we were actually printing out on regular printer and then cutting it and then taping it. And this has definitely saved us a lot of time and a lot of money. This is also a very important tool. A lot of people ask us how we figure out shipping, and this is how we figure out shipping. We have a postal scale. So our box sizes, we put in the box size and we put in the weight, and that is how eBay calculates our shipping. But you can see we have one here and we have one out by listing so that I can kind of estimate what the shipping cost is going to be. And then when it gets to this scale is when we actually know.
See, that's where it's really important for, when you're listing an item to know the boxes that you're using. It makes it a lot easier to order new packaging because everything is uniform at that point. I can stick this box on the scale, know how many ounces this box weighs. I know that each sheet of paper is 1 ounce. I can guesstimate in my head how many sheets of paper are going to go into this box, so I know how much to add for pack material, essentially, to the weight of the item to give a correct shipping quote, or as accurate as possible. Now, when you use the bulk shipping label tool, it gives you an opportunity to print out what's called a scan form. So instead of your mailman having to scan every single package that you're handing in, you just print out one scan form, and there's no customer information on this or anything, so I can show you this. But what they do is they scan this one barcode, and both of these two packages that are on this scan form will be checked in and accepted by the post office. Same exact thing with this one here. I've got 25 packages on this list. They scan one barcode, and all 25 are accepted by the post office. So it saves a lot of time by printing out those scan forms instead of having to each one scanned individually. But if you're doing 10 or even 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you can save yourself a bunch by having that one scan form. And I print it right off of the Rollo printer right after I'm done doing my labels. I set it off to the side, and when Joe shows up.
And Joe comes right to that door, so it's really nice. We just shove the packages out that door.
Yep, now I'm going to go back to the seller hub, and I'm going to double check, and I have nothing else awaiting shipment. Everything else is done, and all I got to do now is I just have to match the name on the label with the name on the package, slap the labels on there, and they're ready to go out the door today.
Okay, so that kind of gives you guys a peek at our shipping operation. I've always been reluctant to post a video like this because everybody has a different way of doing it. Everyone's a critic on how you're going to do it, but we rarely have breakages, and this method works for us. So Andrew is now the shipping guy, and he's been doing a pretty good job if I had to, you know, gauge his performance. But we're gonna get out of here now. I've actually decided that I'm gonna go to Goodwill today and maybe film a Goodwill video for all of you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have questions, comments, leave them down below, and we'll see you tomorrow. Right, Andrew?
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is one day before my due date.
Okay.
All right.
2 days. You're due the 11th.
Yeah, is that Saturday? I thought that was Friday.
Today's the 8th.
Oh, today's only the 8th. Okay, I have a few days left. I'm gonna go try to walk this baby off at Goodwill. So I'll see you guys later.